And just like that, the bike is fully built. So let's go ahead and do a good old-fashioned bike check. Okay, this is a 2024 Wabi Special. Size is 55, and the color is a beautiful, beautiful sapphire blue. This bike looks absolutely, it's just crazy how nice this bike looks. Special means that it has lugged construction. You can see those are lugs right there, and there are also some lugs right here and right here. And the Classic, Special, and the Thunder, the steel forks are all lugged. The Lightning, the Wabi Lightning, has carbon forks as far as I know. Starting at the top, Brooks B17 saddle. I only ride Brooks saddles. They are very heavy. I'm sure there are more comfortable saddles out there. However, these are the only saddles that don't absolutely destroy my jeans or my shorts in the summertime. So having these saddles on all my bikes means I don't always have to put on my cycling kit and dress up like a superhero in spandex. Really like the convenience of that. Thompson Elite alloy seat post. It is a setback just to give me more room, since on the 55 sometimes it's nice to be able to stretch out. I do like the smaller frame, but this one's really nice. The stock seat post was okay, but sometimes the seat ends up slipping and then, pointing the nose up, pointing the nose down. It can get a little bit weird. Wasn't much of an issue, only happened once when I had this on my Thunder, but I figured why not put on a nice seat post and then just never have to worry about it ever again. For the Cockpit, we have an FSA Omega stem. This is a 31.8 millimeter stem, I believe, and it is a 110 millimeter. You could see it's got, I think it's a 6-degree stem. It's not Wabi's classic 17-degree stem, and it also has a bigger clamp, which I actually like. The handlebars, FSA Omega compact road drops. They're just the easiest bars. They're like $50 on Amazon. They're alloy. You don't have to worry about your carbon bars breaking. So definitely enjoy that. I am running the full drop bars with the hooded levers. This is just going to give you the maximum amount of comfort, since you're going to most of the time you're going to be riding like this. Grab the brakes very easily. You want to sit upright, you can go here, but you can also go in the corners, and sometimes if you want, you can go down on the drops and you can still grab the brakes with your index finger. This actually works very well, and this is something that I do a lot of times when I'm going downhill. Brake levers are basic Tektro hooded levers, not the fancy TRP ones. I find these work the best. We are wrapped in Supercaz sticky cush tape, Supercaz super sticky cush tape. This is the black with the red stars on it. I really like that. It just looks really nice. And also have the Supercaz red bar ends right there. And underneath of the bar tape, we've also got Surface padding. It's like a gel pad. Really makes a big difference, especially if you're going to be riding around a place like New York City, where a lot of the roads are very bumpy. Makes a huge difference. Your hands aren't going to hurt. Currently running 30 millimeter of spacers under the stem. I can run 40 or 45, just if I'm a little bit inflexible, but I like the way the bike handles and rides the best with 30s. I could go 20, but that actually it's a bit tough maybe if I'm riding a lot. And like I said, sometimes I may put one under here and run 40, just maybe if I'm super inflexible and find my neck hurts or something like that. But I do like this setup the best. Speaking of the setup, we have the Wabi top cap in red. It's a nice accent with the red stars and the red bar ends, and it just looks really good, something that I really enjoy. Also, we have an integrated GPS mount, and I've also got a Magic Shine bike light mount right here, since I use Magic Shine lights. So running bar bags, just clutter free. You can run bar bags. You can put your hands all the way choke up on the stem. It's just really nice. It keeps the cockpit nice and clean, and it's just super simple. It's just nice. Moving on down the line, running front and rear brakes. I always like riding both brakes, and I would always recommend it. We do have the TRP R879, I believe. Wow, that's a lot of clearance. I can fit my whole finger in there. Great brakes, very strong, very powerful. Also have some Salmon cool stop pads right in here, which is just nice. if you get caught in the rainstorm, these are still going to work, and they're also softer than the aluminum, so they're not going to totally destroy your aluminum wheels. And a nice little touch too is this little red cable stop. Something I think I got them off Amazon. They're just something nice. It's kind of cool if you have a bike that's still using rim brakes, or if you're using mechanical systems. If you have these standard steel pull cables in your bike, definitely get something like this. It's subtle, but you'll appreciate it. Especially it matches the other red accents on the bike. Now, a big upgrade that not a lot of people realize they can do to their cable actuated rim brakes or disc brakes is running Jaguar Super, I don't know what they're called, Jaguar frictionless or minimal friction cable housing. These things make the biggest difference. If you're riding a rim brake bike or a cable actuated disc brake bike and you're feeling that when you grab the brake levers, you just don't have enough power or it's hard to grab, you've definitely got to take the time, invest in the Jaguar compressionless cable housing, take the time to root them up, cut them with clippers. They're a little bit tough to bend because they actually are beefier, and they're also tougher to clip, tougher to cut with cutters. However, it's going to take your brake lever performance from here to here. You can't even see that, from here to here. And it's definitely one of the best upgrades you can do for rim brakes. As long as you have a set of modern, not calipers, modern road style or modern brake levers that you could easily grab. I know some of the old ones, the pivot points were all screwed up. Definitely this is going to make the biggest difference, even if you do put on expensive $200-$300 Ultegra, Shimano Dura Ace or Durace brakes, whatever rim brakes. If you don't have good cables, it doesn't matter. So I would say that you should upgrade, make sure that your brake levers are on point first, make sure they're comfortable, and make sure you can grab them easily. Then get yourself some really nice Jaguar compressionless cable housing. And then the next thing is get yourself some Salmon Cool Stop red pads. And honestly, a standard pair of Textro R539s are going to be totally fine. Those are the ones that Wabi equips. So a little bit of a tangent right there, but definitely something that I wanted to talk about. We do have Velcro straps instead of those little metal clips. I may put the metal clips on for the first two. I think I'll leave the Velcro strap right here, since a lot of times I lift the bike up right here when I'm picking it up, going up and down stairs in my third floor apartment. And that little cable clip right here, it'll actually either dig into my hand, or if I'm let's say I'm putting the bike over like that and I happen to be wearing a shirt or a jacket, it has actually cut up one of my jackets. So I'm probably gonna leave this one. Maybe I'll just put the cable clips over here, but for the most part, it's okay right now. Rear brake, same thing, nothing, we already went over the brakes. Still got the little red thing right there, little red cable end. And I always forget to take the duct tape off, but there's the brakes. Moving right along. Oh yeah, almost forgot. This is just something I put on just the other day. It was sitting somewhere here in the apartment. I just figured to put it on. It's just a little light mount. Just throw it on. Why not? Magic Shine lights, definitely really good. USB-C rechargeable. Really enjoy them. Moving right along down, we have some basic black Planet Bike, I believe, water bottle holders. I always ride with 2 water bottles, if not 1. But if the weather gets nice, I always like to stay hydrated. And a nice Lezine pen, ABS pen gauge pump. Definitely, the thing is super small, but it packs a serious punch. So far, so good. It's not bothering me that it's on there, but I may switch it out. Crankset, we've got an Andel track crankset, unbranded. This is just what Wabi uses. I've had no problem with this crankset, absolutely awesome. Fixation Mesa pedals, they're $60. They're like nylon plastic, but they're sealed bearings. Definitely very comfortable if you're gonna be wearing cycling shoes like Vans slip-ons or Vans old schools. These are my favorite pedals as far as flat pedals go. They definitely are a little bit lighter than some of your other options. And since I'm running single speed, even when I was running fixed gear, actually, I never really cared for foot straps. I just felt like either clip in with cycling shoes or run flats and just run a second brake and deal with it. Gearing, we've got a 46 chainring in the front, and it's up to a 17 tooth in the back. You could see this is the White Industries ENOS, or Dos Enos rather, I should say, freewheel, really high quality. It's got a 17 tooth and a 19 tooth. So maybe if I'm, out of shape or if I'm climbing a lot of hills, I can just pull over, I can loosen the wheel and just put it over to the 19 tooth. Something I did a while ago, but I do like the way the 4617 runs. This is a nice KMC K1, I believe, chain. It's new, it still has that slime on it. Nice looking chain, I gotta say. I like the two-tone finish, although these chains, any bike chain is gonna start to look pretty rough once you ride them. I guess we'll have to see how much I like this one, but honestly, Wabi's standard chains that are $8 or $12, that's what I would run from, $12 chain, you can't go wrong, just get it in all black. You're set, single speed, you don't have to spend tons of money. Nice thing about the White Industries, again, we just have one more red accent on the bike that really just makes the whole bike look really nice. And the wheels right now, these are my Wabi Sub 15s that I've had for a very long time. I think I had to true the back wheel once, not an issue for me, I know how to do it. If the wheel wobbles to the right, you pull the spoke to the left, you tension the spoke tighter. That's on the opposite way. So if it's going that way, you want to pull it, just pull it the opposite direction. Another video for another time. Wheels are really good. Brought up the whole truing thing just because I'm usually about 200 pounds. Just myself, and then with the backpack and with the bike, these wheels are probably taking 230, 240 pounds, and they actually are pretty good. Really enjoy them, very zippy. We do have Tubolito TPU inner tubes. My favorite. I am pretty much done with tubeless as far as right now. I don't want to have all the tubeless gook all over the place. It's just a mess, and the TPU inner tubes, knock on wood, have been great so far. And yeah, I will run them until they become a huge problem, but hopefully they don't. And they're also a bonus, they're very small and very lightweight to carry, like 2 or 3. I used to only carry 1 or 2 inner tubes. Now I carry 3, and if I have a backpack, I'm sometimes carrying up to 4 of these inner tubes. I'm literally set for a long time. Tires on these wheels, Continental Grand Prix 5000, the standard ones. I believe you can get a pair for about $100 or $120 on Amazon. That's the two of them, that's a pair. And that's just something nice that's, not having the tubeless option or not going tubeless. You could definitely get your tires a lot cheaper, by like almost 50%. I believe the tubeless version is $100 each. So they would have been $200 instead of $100. Haven't had any issues with these tires and these tubes yet. These are race tires, so the puncture resistance is but so far so good. I don't take these wheels, or I don't plan on taking these wheels with this bike out in the bad weather. I don't ride too much in the bad weather, honestly. But if they become an issue, I have some old Continental Grand Prix 4 Seasons, which I don't even know if they're probably going to discontinue those at some point. But those GP 4 Season tires, they have a little bit more puncture resistance than these. But yeah, these wheels, really good. Also, let's go ahead and see how much this bike weighs. Hook it onto the metal rail of Brooks. Took a while. .87 pounds. Everyone says how their Wabis, they set them up super lightweight. I've always found that they run about 19 or 20 pounds. Maybe 19 pounds you can get it down, but realistic weight with a lot of the stuff you're going to be using, like a pump, bottle cages, front and rear brakes, all that stuff, they can be pretty up there. Mind you, for the price of one of these and for what you're getting, the bike's going to ride like a rocket ship, and it's still a very, very, for me, it's a super lightweight bike. But a couple of things we can do to this bike in order to make it just a little bit lighter would be, number one, that Brooks saddle easily lose at least a half a pound, if not a pound, to put on a lighter saddle. However, it's going to destroy your jeans. Riding this White Industries Dos Enos freewheel, that's another half a pound right there. So there's a whole pound. If we just went road fixed gear, then definitely we could ditch that freewheel. Now we're down to 19.8 pounds. Removing the rear brake, removing the brake housing, probably another half a pound, so 18 and a half pounds, or 19, somewhere around 19 pounds if you're okay just riding a fixed gear bike with just a front brake. Of course, you're going to need foot retention for that, but those things the foot straps aren't really going to cost you much as far as weight, maybe like a quarter pound or barely anything, 1/10 of a pound. And of course you could do things like get a super lightweight pump. You could even do things like you can just run flat bars with one brake lever. That'll save you a little bit. Or if you want to, I won't recommend this, you just take all the brakes off and just run it as a fixed gear. I'm sure you're going to hit that 18 or 17.5 pound mark. But for me, people say their bikes are 17 pounds. It's just never been my experience with the Wabi Classic, and same thing with the Wabi Special. Maybe the Wabi Lightning would be 20 pounds in this configuration if we took all the parts off here and put them on a Wabi Lightning. But again, these bikes are not going to be as lightweight as like a giant TCR, Trek and Honda, if they even make that anymore, or a super lightweight racing machine. It's just more going to be a nice lightweight steel, reliable, robust, durable, which is all the same thing, single speed road bike that you don't have to baby. So we're still in the middle of winter here, but we've only got about a month or two left before it starts to get into the high 40s and low 50s daily. Once that happens, we'll definitely be taking this thing out for a couple of joyrides, and the maiden voyage will be filmed. Thanks for watching.